Hello everyone, welcome back to Games on Fast Forward. We got ZombieGabriel running FNaF World for us. FNaF World is a RPG, it's an RPG made by Scott Cawthon,
Yep.
the Scott Cawthon,
hmm
and yeah, ZombieGabriel will be running FNaF World for us. What's the category again? Fixed Party 100%.
Yep.
So if you want to explain anything about the run, if you want to like introduce yourself, go ahead.
All right. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to explain more about the run as we go because there's a lot to cover. 45 minutes is a lot of time to cover things with this run, so I'm just going to take it pretty slow. But yeah, we'll cover everything as it is. Fixed party 100%. We do a lot in this category, so a lot of words to say. But yeah, I'm ready whenever you are.
Yeah, right. Just give me a countdown. I'm also ready.
All right. Excellent. Then we're going to begin in 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off.
And we're off. So, crazy looking menu. Promise that'll get covered later. Alright, so first off, it's going to be pretty chill here for a little while. You're going to be seeing this screen a lot. You're going to be seeing some enemies and be running from it. So, FNaF World. Let's get a proper introduction. So, right now we're skipping through some dialogue that is more important. I mean, if you follow the story, that's a cool thing too. But more importantly, we need to talk to these guys because they give us they fulfill a requirement later for an ending that we need to get 100%. We're getting a lot of the endings in the game, minus ones that are RPG dependent, or sorry, RNG dependent. I can speak. So here coming up, third dialogue box. I'm gonna F2 like this. I'm gonna reset, and the first question is, why are you resetting? Right? Why? It just seems slow, but the reason why is because it takes longer to wait for that dialogue box to end than for me to just menu like that. So that trick actually works in a bunch of interesting ways, again, that we'll cover as the run goes on. But we just got through Fazbear Hills. That's the very beginning of the run. Right here, I'm going to hit the button. I'm going to go down a little bit, force a load, and what's going to happen is I'm going to clip right through Fredbear. It's going to go like this. And we just walk over him. You get a second of immunity after a load, and it allows you to walk over most overworld objects. Not all of them, not bosses, not clocks, but Fredbears, which is really convenient for us. So we're going to get Quick Start Party, which is the first chip, first collectible. There are 21 of them, so a few to get. That's one that we need. It's actually really useful. I'll elaborate when we get to bosses, which is a lot of this category too. So this is the first clock. Extremely simple. We're going to skip to... So this here, I'm going to explain it now. It's called fade skipping. And what you do, you F2, you skip back to the beginning. We're going to talk to this Fredbear while I explain this. You go back to the beginning, and you'll notice that it seems kind of choppy. Like, it'll fade into a screen. Like, it fades into the warning screen, and then you see it immediately go away, and then immediately in the next screen. I'm pressing Alt F4 to skip the fade out. That happens, and that's because of the engine that the game's run on, or was made in ClickTeam Fusion 2.5. It has a few quirks like that. I can mute the game with hotkeys, which is relevant in other categories. But what you need to know is that I can sit here and skip every fade, and these menus look so clean as a result. So now, we're going to go to Dusting Fields. Another thing you see me doing is immediately warping like that. I'm able to click the button through the loading screen, and it buffers an input. So as long as my mouse is where the button is, it'll immediately register. Getting an 8 there is really good, by the way. That means I reacted pretty fast. So yeah, if I had to press a button, I'm not, but it would have taken me to the zone. So now, we're going to go up here. We're going to get a first opportunity encounter. We love it. We're going to go talk to Fredbear, which is cool. He's talking about how... So flip sides, I haven't described them very much, but there's a subtunnel that's like, something's wrong with that in the lore. But this is the first one where it's like Inception, if you've ever seen Inception. You go multiple layers down. It gets interesting. It's just overworld design, really. Not a whole lot explored. It would be a cool concept. Regardless, here, I'm going to skip on the second dialogue instead of the third because he's only got 2 dialogue boxes. So, yeah, that's that. And now, past Fredbear, and we're going to go into the first fight. So this is Bouncer. We're We're gonna pop an Endo Army. We're gonna do some Cosmic Song. We're just gonna see. So we're just gonna do a bunch of damage. We're gonna annihilate him, and the first few fights are gonna look exactly like that. It's gonna look like that for a while. I realized that I missed a chip, but I can go grab it here in a second. It's not super important, the order I do things, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
What is important that's coming up, though, is really subtle. I saved right before I went into this flip side. And to go back a minute ago, this is what I mean. So this is level 2. It's just a different design. There's a layer 3 later, but I don't know, something to admire. So now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to hit button 4, and there's a 25% chance of getting an encounter. If I don't get it, it's awesome. But if I do, I lose 20 seconds. So let's hope not. I don't.
Great.
And now I'm doing this little thing, and this is why I saved. I saved because now I warp back here, which is weird. It's like, how'd you get there? I saved, and I had a loading screen. Loading screens don't save your position where they happen, so you can save. This is fine. That tends to happen. So because loading screens don't save your position, you can do things like what I'm doing, where I'm fade skipping back to a position, and it saves a ton of backtracking time. So less overworld time overall. It's really nice. I forgot I had the encounter in there. But yeah, we get that chip. It's called Brotech. Shoutouts to Bro with FNaF. Discovered it back in like 2020, 2021. I forget when at this point, but it was revolutionary. So shoutouts to them. They deserve it. It's still one of the coolest techs. And we've been discovering more of them, like little bits where you can save out of position and save backtracking time. So we're in the Mysterious Mine. I'm going to get a couple chips in here. That's the whole reason we're here. All these chests, we have to collect all of them. So, same deal, same health. Gonna lure this guy. This happens. Sometimes you get bad RNG with the stars, and they have to shoot him down. But, I don't know. All goes with the luck. I'm gonna collect another chip over here. So this is auto gift boxes. Very, very useful in a casual playthrough. Useful also in some other categories. But the idea of gift boxes is you've seen the battles, and I haven't elaborated yet because it's not important, but gift boxes give your teammates an extra life, which with some attacks later, it's going to be necessary. So again, when we get there, it'll make more sense. But I'm throwing that out there now because gift boxes are going to be... That's the whole thing, is it's going to be super revolvent around being safe and trying to maximize DPS. So in the end, it becomes a very tactically intense speedrun. Just a ton of fun. So now we're going to go back here because I missed this chip up here, which I meant to get after the second Fredbear, which is a little while ago. But, you know, we forget things. It's all good. Now I'm going to go back to Fazbear Hills. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. Okay, so now I go back to Fazbear Hills, which is the very beginning of the game. Here, what I'm actually going to do is going to shock some people in the community. We're going to get a pearl.
Wow.
Why are we getting a pearl? Well, actually, that's a really good pearl. Getting a 58 on the timer is very fast. Normally, you'd expect to... anything over 50 is very good. So, always nice to get that. So I'm going to build up getting tokens, because I'm spending a lot of time without loading screens, and there's a technical reason why that's important. But it has to do with the pearls, and now I'm trying to get tokens so I can get bites, which add more damage per second, and make the fights faster later. That's the simple explanation. In normal runs, we have a different way of doing it. We actually force loads faster because we remove loads, typically, which is why you're not seeing a lot of the screens. We get those 2 chips, we're gonna go back here and set this up. But yeah, tokens are important because you get bites, and bites help with damage. This is a really long stretch. If I get this without an encounter, it's great, but if not, it happens. So let's see. Alright, I got that, and that's actually really impressive. I got
marathon mode kicking in.
I think that was a 20-second walk, which is... I think that's about a 10... It's a pretty low chance. I need to math it out in my head. But getting that Brotech is always really nice. It's super satisfying. It's necessary for top runs, but it, again, always satisfying. So we're going to kick another eyeball with swings for legs. And then after this, we'll be on our way a little bit. Again, trying to recall what I have so far. I don't think I'm missing any chips. I believe Ever Comet was the only one I was missing. And now we're going to get Endless Speed, which is nice, but not something we're going to get. I remember now there's another chip I need to get. It's over here. I forgot it in the practice run. But we didn't this time. So now we talked to Fredbear 4. We skipped some of these, and this time, we skipped on the second dialogue box, we skip on the fourth one now. So actually there's barely enough time to use the bathroom, if you need to, and you're in a long gaming session. So that's a cool thing. A later fight, we also have a minute before you have to do anything, so pick and choosing locations for convenience. So yeah, just waiting this out. He talks his cryptic dialogue that we all know and love. And we just wait. We're gonna do another fade skip when this comes back. Like this. And now we walk all the way through the lake. We're gonna be here a couple times. But yeah, we're just going chest collecting. This is actually a fairly small section of the game. I wish the Lugia Lake were expanded upon more than just a boss. We're gonna save right here. Go to this flip side, and do the same thing that we did in the previous zone. So, until then, we're just walking. There isn't a whole lot to say about the flip sides, other than it's muscle memory movement. Over time, I just value it for the music, and because I think it looks cool. It's got a good retro design to it. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but you know, you gotta admire these things. Alright, so we're gonna be out of Lily Lake. We're gonna hit button 5, fade skip, in this order. Where we go here. I saved back where I did, because it saves a ton of backtracking time. I don't have to make the lake trip twice. And so, again, back here, going into the cave, and we're gonna go get clock 4. We're going to be in this specific stretch of the mine for a while, because I need to make a really long walk over to the other side to get the chips. So before that, we're going to go hit this. And actually, interesting thing about clock 4, it's hard-coded in the game to where you have to wait for this to hit 0. It like checks to see that this is the input when it hits 0, so it can spawn the next clock when you get there. So you can't fade skip there for that reason. Otherwise, you kill the run. So there's that explanation. So we're gonna walk over here. Feels like the encounters haven't been too bad lately. They weren't awesome in the beginning, but here, especially now, it's been really calm. So we're walking all the way back around to the other side. Freddy's gonna walk off the screen. He's just not there anymore. Actually, he is. He's just off screen. We passed by a later boss point. So we are going to be coming back into this cave to beat them, but that's not till the end of the run, and we're still at the beginning, so there's something to think about. We're going to hit Endless Strength. Endless Defense is on the other side, and it's guarded by another eyeball, so we're going to go take him out really quick. Hopefully not get bad cosmic luck, but what can you do? That's literally perfect, so what can go? It's that easy there for a little while. It will get more difficult. So now I have all this. I can go here. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna get this chip, which requires you to walk all the way around the zone. And now we actually have something different than an eyeball with legs. We have an endoskeleton, and they have a bit more health and a bit more tanky, and can actually one-shot my guys. So that'll be fun. We'll get there. It's not too threatening compared to other fights, but still a step up. Runs can take this long occasionally. It's just something you grow used to with playing this game. That's on the shorter end of things, especially without run luck. So take that. So here I'm going to do something a little different with the start of the battle. Again, you're going to watch it, and then I'll explain it later. But I do a couple preemptive moves there to get, say, gift boxes, as I said earlier. The hot cheese. Gloom is not fun to deal with. Get the defense down. I got power before he died, which is nice. That's also fine, because these are about up. This is a slower fight, but I got a crit. The crits are the 1,000 tick damage that the Ender Army can sometimes do. The more of those you get, the faster they die, so that's the hope. We're going to have Feral Fury up here, which is going to be our third chip to collect. And equip. That one and Pizza Fury, which you'll see later, are going to be really effective for fights. I should have hit the button. Which means we get this. Which also happens. There he is. You saw him for a second. So now I talk to this guy. I click done because he actually doesn't spawn a clock. So that's also nice. So remember how I got the pearl earlier? And I was trying to get tokens. I need 200 by a certain point, and I believe I have enough. I've spent enough time in the overworld. I forgot some chips to go do the things I need to. So I think I'm going to progress like this and forget literally half of the things I need to do in this zone, and then go get the pearl, and we'll reconvene after that, because I need 200 to get a bite. Here we're going to see layer 3 in the flip side, so another visual change, which will be neat. Yes, these are painfully slow. At least they feel that way after playing them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it even looks like it, but I don't know. It's funny because fan games of this game try to make this section faster because it's just a slow, tedious 2 pixel a second walk, but well. That's not me complaining. We're almost out of it now, and then we're going to hit button 6. Which is fine, yeah. And then... Wait, did I save? I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't think it matters. So I'm going to go here. We're going to get this pearl again. Hopefully we get a good spawn. This is a much worse spawn, as you see. I'm going to line it up after the green fish. Okay, well, yeah, that'll happen. I barely missed. But that's okay. I'm going to try to hunt for some gold chests now, which is super backup strategy. But, yeah, see, perfect. And actually, I need to come back here anyway, so I'm glad I got that gold. That's really lucky. I'm going to get this block jump scare, or set up the third Brotech, the third big one anyway. Getting an encounter there is nice, and the reason why getting encounters are important for setting this up is because after every encounter, you get an immunity timer, which is 8 seconds. That happens too sometimes. Actually, I can still save time. No, I can't, actually. Not in RTA. But you get an 8-second immunity after running or defeating an encounter or boss. So you don't have to deal with as many chances of running into encounters when you need to walk long stretches like that. So that's valuable information too. And so I briefly mentioned how I forgot to save up here. Where I was actually supposed to save was right at this fork, and I would have done another Broadtech back here to get to this point of the cave where I get boss train, and then I get Fine Characters, which is the chip on the top left, which you'll see here in a little bit. So now again, trying to recall everything that I have. I believe I've gotten everything. So we're just going to take out this Mad Endo and do what we can. So rainy day. And a lot of the beginning here, I don't know why I swapped for that, but a lot of the beginning is trying to set up the buffs and debuffs and DPS, which is the hot cheese that you see down there. And trying to take these guys out fast. That was a fair Mad Endo fight. I would say it's on the slow end, but I have high expectations for it, so that was good, we'll say. And now we're going to get Fine Characters, which is nice, but not necessary because we're in Fixed Party. So, which has all the characters you need to hunt for. No use for the chip. We're gonna go down here and fight another Endo. Like we haven't seen enough of these guys. So we're gonna do hot cheese. Same battle strategy. Pop buffs and debuffs. And try to survive. Getting 2 crits like that's pretty lucky. I'm gonna get armor so that my people don't die like that. But it's kind of too late, so... doing the best we can. That was a slower fight. That was on the slower end. But what can you do? Now we're gonna equip Pizza Fury, which is the last thing to really, really increase the damage. And now numbers should definitely be popping here in a little bit. So now we get 2 laps of Pinwheel Circus. Well, 1.5, I guess you could say. I'm gonna go most of the way to the end, up to this tent, which we're gonna enter to go to Deep Metal Mine. That's a 1 frame. Normally that's just the audio, as you heard, but you actually saw the frame for a second. That's just Run Luck getting absurdly lucky. It's another all-satisfying moment, which the game has a lot of, so that's cool. We're gonna fight the Sendo. More of the same. We're gonna pop Endo Army, buffs, debuffs. Fights aren't threatening, but trust me, give me 5 minutes and we'll be there soon. I promise. It's about to begin. So that was an insane Mad Endo in stark contrast to the other ones. The guy has 8,000 HP, so getting half of that in crits or close to it is always really, really quick. I'm gonna get curse status, not important, but a chip, which is important because it's 100%. Here's lap 2, Pinwheel Circus, walking through it again. There's a Fredbear waiting for us at the end, which is gonna have our last clock for the ending. And now here I'm watching the dialogue boxes, I'm making sure I'm skipping fast. There's a reason why. So with this one, you can skip on the first dialogue. And because you could skip on the first dialogue, you could time it audibly. Which means you can skip a lot earlier than just relying. Oops, I messed that up.
Oh.
That's what happens when you mess up in Alta 4, you actually close the game.
Yeah.
That's what's supposed to happen. So, you know, that'll happen occasionally. Now we're going to fight Browboy. This is a little different than the Endos we just fought. A little tougher, a little beefier. Still one-shots, but doesn't gloom us. So that's a benefit. We're gonna knock his teeth in. We'll do some Cosmic Song stuff over there. And then, yeah, just let everything else chip while we wait for the turns. He's dead. That was a good Browboy. And now at this point, the bosses are gonna start ramping up. And this is gonna become much more of a boss rushy kind of category. We've done a lot of the route exploration and getting the chips. So at this point, it's surviving, which you'll see more of later. We're gonna get this clock, not these white rabbits. It wasn't the intent. This happens. But it's fun just watching the numbers do their things, and then watching that as you wait patiently. Alright, clock 5. It's literally clock 1, but with Shadow Bonnie. We do another fade skip. We go back down from whence we came, because this is a giant tent maze that has a bunch of, well, it seems random, but it's an elaborate corridor of teleporting tents. Now we have Bubba, the big wind-up teddy bear. And this guy, the threatening thing about him is his move, which you've seen in the bottom left, is Jump Scare, which stuns the party. I'm glad that kind of showed up. It's nice for me. He one-shot still, as you see. I'm going to try to wait for a neon wall, which will prevent them from being one-shot. I'm also going to try to pick Funtime Foxy back up. That's the person who died. I'm probably going to lose Endo Army time for a bit, which is also fine. Armor Song. And get the Endo Army back up. And let the numbers pile. And the fight should be over pretty soon. Okay, I missed that. So my front lines got jump scared. So now this is a pretty slow fight. Oh wow! Nice! Alright, so this is exemplary of, like, some of the things that can happen.
What did happen?
When things just don't line up. So I got jump scared twice.
Oh.
My front lines got scared. So I was spending all of it in the back with, like, hot cheese and rainy day. It doesn't do a lot of damage. So that's why my momentum slowed down a lot in the end. So, again, this category becomes really tactically intense, and you'll see that especially in the next 10 minutes. We're going to get Counterbite, which is a chip that's, honestly, it's pretty integral. This does a ton of damage. It counterattacks every opponent hit with a 300 damage attack, which adds up pretty substantially. That's me inputting a chip combination that does the most DPS. We're going to Frederick clip again, because I forced a loading screen. Now we're going to get our first ending. This is the fourth glitch ending.
Wow.
Where, earlier on, actually funny, when I started talking about, oh, this is layer 2 and the flip side, that's the same one he talks about, don't go more than 3 glitches down. We're going to go more than 3 glitches down for one of the endings. Because, you know, we don't listen to lore and we're secret hunters.
It's like, don't do that. So. I'm going to do that.
Yes, exactly. So you get it. So now we're going to go over here. And now all we have to do is enter fourth glitch. So get in there, and then we're done. That's all you need.
Wow.
Old Man Consequences over there at the pole has a little bit of dialogue telling you about how there's no place for you to go, and come and sit a while, let's have a talk, and that's the ending. So, a nice red place of purgatory, we can call it. So now we're going to get lap 2 of this flip side. This is the most elaborate flip side of them all. It's the most fun as a result. Just the most confusing casually. Unfortunately, because I've memorized a path, it doesn't give it the justice it had casually, because you need to figure this out. But, again, casually, I liked the flip sides a lot. I think it was underappreciated. So I've been sort of pronouncing it quite a bit. But we're almost through this, and then we have another boss waiting for us on the other side, which we're going to take out. A little less health, hits harder a little faster, but not as threatening. Actually, we can potentially get some good use out of Counterbite. So we're going to do our setup with the buffs and debuffs. We're in Cosmic Song, and he does 1,000 damage, which is a little over double how much we can take in a single hit. At this point, the numbers get so high you can't even hope to try to tank it most of the time. After this boss, that you will most likely be a one-shot in most instances, so about to get quite difficult. This is the end of the easy, I would say, for the run. After this, it's gonna start getting a bit more difficult. So, knocked him out. We're gonna go take the key that he was hiding behind him, and we're gonna use it to go unlock some lock buttons. Or lock blocks. I don't know what these are called. But we're gonna go into this portal. We're gonna see some eyes that aren't gonna describe anything, because we don't sit and wait for the clock ending dialogue. But that's an ending. Now we go back to Phasma Hills, and we're gonna go get more of these locks. To do this, I made the same mistake as I did in practice. So what I just did, I re-equipped Runluck, because of reasons I described before. Encounters can take forever without it. So, just a safety thing. Thankfully, we won't need it after this, when we get to the fight, because the immunity will just carry us to the rest of the fights. We won't have to worry about chances. We're going to equip our setup again, and this is one of the hard fights. I have a setup for this. Basically, because he knocks you out really quick and really fast, you want to just get as much defense as you can before he wipes out your entire party, which he really likes to do. Because he's overclock. He's really good at just humbling you. I missed the move, but we're still pretty alive. So, not incredibly worried. I got Endo Army super late to try to stay alive. In fact, I would have liked to get it earlier. I should have Neon Walled like 2 turns ago, but here we are. There we go. So now I think they're a 3-shot, so now the character shouldn't die and will actually deal damage. This is a really, really slow overclock, but it also goes to show just the difficulty in being unprepared. I could have very easily lost it if I didn't know what I was doing. So, I'm glad I stuck through. Now we're going to hit this button, and we're going to go to 3, which is Dusting Fields, the snow area. And we'll do that sort of thing, but for the big snow cone guy again. So now, big chain gun snowball dude, but he has a ton more health, and is a little more threatening. Has a few more moves. Can one-shot the button guardian shebang. We get some speed. Snowball isn't terribly threatening. I'm gonna let him... So what I just did, I swapped the party there. It seemed random, but it wasn't. I did that so that he can just hit one of the party members in the back, so they could die, and not my front party member. So it's a way to preserve lives when you don't have gift boxes. And you'll see me doing that a bit more later. That was escape key. It's a random insta-kill. It has a 50% chance to kill any of the party members. It can kill all of them or none of them. Or 1 through 3. We just kind of got to get lucky with it. That was also really slow, but my crits haven't been very nice. So, that'll happen. So now we're going to hit this button. We got one more button guardian. This used to be the scariest fight until I started experimenting without auto shield. So now this is kind of just a fight, but it's super good. Still threatening. Still fast. Still... can hand it to you if you're not careful. But we're gonna play pretty carefully. You saw me swapping back and forth to let him do his thing with, or hit the other party members. Ooh, nice crits. I'm actually gonna let this go. Yeah, I'm playing really safe. I'm not playing quick. But preferably you want him dead before the Endo army drops, but honestly, I ain't even worried about that at this point. I'm happier with surviving. So we're gonna hit this button. We're gonna go kill security, which is the big bad of all of what I just did. And this is the start of another ending, basically. If you're playing on normal, we're playing on hard mode. But on normal mode, after this fight, there's another ending that we can't get because we're on hard mode, and there's another fight after this one. So this is security. It's a much scarier fight because I don't have auto shield. You can't see why yet, but his ability is Alarm, which will spawn bubbles, and the bubbles hit the shield. Actually, he's being really nice with that, but it hits the shield and it depletes the duration of the shield, and he can do that every 10 seconds. So it can, if he does Alarm, which he's not, and I'm really thankful for it, I can make this fight really scary, because the alarms one-shot your characters, and there's 5 of them. So, very threatening. But not unmanageable. This is actually really nice so far. Okay, there it is, see? So that's gonna probably take 3, yep. And one-shots a couple of them. So now I want Neon Wall again. Also, if this guy wants, he could totally spam Alarm. Normally you don't go over half the fight without him doing it once. Well, we take what we can get here, so... I said that it depletes the duration. I waited there so that we can maximize the duration. I'm gonna go over here and refresh Endo Army. Do more speed. And a Cosmic Song's gonna eat. I should also mention that this game was made on Scotch tape, so it has memory issues, and sometimes the moves just don't work after enough time has passed.
That's fun.
It's, yeah, that's a nice way to put it, I would say. Alright, so we got Endo Army here. And now we're going to do the rest of... We're going to reapply because all the debuffs run out after a minute. Which I've been neglecting to try to see. Now he's spamming Alarm. See, that took out 5, but I was ready with gift boxes. So, wasn't an issue. But security's dead. Which is nice. I think that's the hardest fight in this run, actually. The next fight would be even harder than that, but I'm gonna play it safe. I've been practicing the next fight without auto shield, but it's not I haven't found a consistent way to deal with the worst RNG yet, so I'm not gonna do the hard strats in this run. But I'll still describe why it's difficult. It's for the same reason that this is difficult. But oh wait, another thing I can do. Because you get 500 tokens from that fight, you can get another bite. Which is what we just did. We went and got the purple UFO. Sometimes you can get an encounter here. We didn't. So I'm gonna change my chips. It's the same thing, but I'm dropping Frettle Fury for shield. And now I don't have to worry about managing shield on top of everything else. You get a full minute here to just talk with these glowing white pixels. It is so entertaining. So here we are as we culminate this speedrun. These next two fights are pretty difficult. This one's thankfully easier, but it's still pretty bad in the health department. These still take minutes. So it's gonna get pretty hyped though. This is a hype fight.
Hey, there is no pause or something. Or yeah, the guy from the game.
Yeah. And again, I feel like generally the bosses have been lower, but I'm pretty happy with how this run has turned out, all things considered. I don't have many complaints. So I'm just gonna try to survive this and do the best I can and try to elaborate and try to not die. So same start, we're gonna gift box speed. We don't need to worry about neon wall anymore because, well, we're auto neon walling. And I completely missed Rainy Day too, which is fine. So we're gonna come back around, get power, get Rainy, and now we can start DPSing this guy. See, now the bubbles, there's no ability for it. The bubbles just show up. But there's 3 of them, so they deplete the shield less. Which is good, but because they still show up, managing everything and keeping speed up. And he has a really devastating move called Fourth Wall. It one-shots your entire party.
Ooh.
It's straight up. And he hasn't done it yet, thankfully, but he will. And the next boss coming up also can do that. Amongst other nasty things that I'll elaborate when we get there. I don't know why I rushed the gift boxes. I kind of wasted the move, but it's fine. Still dealing a good amount of damage. I think, yep. And now I can refresh these. Also, the boss has been nice with targeting. What they like to do sometimes is just hit the same person over and over again, which you've seen a couple times. And the problem with that is, if it's someone important, like a gift boxer, you can't ever get them up, which means they'll never be useful. So, having that happen as little as possible is the preference. Coming up on a boss loop, which means we're about a minute and a half into the fight, maybe a little more. Spring Bonnie can die, that's fine. We're gonna speed here. And I think I need to refresh before too long, but I'm gonna play safe. He hasn't fourth walled a single time, which is incredible. It's even less common. There we go. I said something. But I mean, even going that long is still really impressive. Look at that. That's 2 crits in a row. Oh, here we go.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, God.
Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Okay,
no.
wait. No, that's fine. No, this is fine. I'll make it back up. He's almost dead. He's... Give it a few shots and it won't be long now. But you saw how quickly that went to bad, and I didn't play it very well anyway. But that's another thing. There we go. I got a crit. That finished him off.
Nice.
It's even harder because he doesn't have a health bar. What'd you say?
Oh, I was just saying nice. There we go. One more boss up, please.
One more. And he's pretty scary. He's no slouch. This is Chipper's Revenge. And he's got double that amount of health.
Oh.
So,
That's gonna be fun.
I don't think I'm beating my estimate, but I set my estimate pretty high, so I'm not worried about it much. I'm sorry if I go over.
No, it's completely fine.
Okay,
Like-
cool.
Like the
I know
next
I'm
couple
close.
runs we have are very chill runs. They're like, what's it called? Yeah, they might go over, they might not go over, but the people are like very free, so it really doesn't matter.
Right. That's good.
We can go like an extra 30 minutes if you want.
I'm gonna try not to go that long,
Yeah.
but thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Alright, so now we're climbing back up to this part. We're gonna wait till it stops like that. Reset our chips. And now this is Chipper's Revenge. I'm gonna go a little bit quieter because some nasty things can happen in this fight. But it's the same deal, but a little faster. I'm actually gonna haunt him, which is a slower move. See, he immediately fourth walled, but 6,000 damage too. But I haunted him, and what haunting does is it stuns for any amount of time between 5 and 30 seconds. It's random on 5-second intervals. But that's important because now he's just standing there, and I can just get damage. The problem is he isn't attacking me, so I don't... Counterbite isn't doing anything. But, I mean, having that much time without any threat is always nice. Oh, that was a worse escape key. I think I hit 3 of them. It's still not threatening, though. I'm still in a very safe position. What I'm really worried about is when he Toxic Bites. And I'll explain why when we get there. He's throwing escape key a lot. Must like that button. Alright, I'm gonna need power from Crying Child. See, this is what I'm talking about. He's hit Endo 1, I think, 3 times. I could throw numbers at you, but that's pretty uncommon. It's not something that should be happening, but yet, we see a lot. Alright, now, oh my god, none of my Endos are up, so I don't have Endo Army, which is also cool. I'm gonna get it up here, though. I want to get some of that. I think my buffs are almost gone, so I'm gonna need to refresh here in a little bit. But I'm waiting on that. Run a hot cheese, get a power. I think I'll have Rainy Day too. Nope, not yet. There we go. Oh, I'm out of speed. So this turn specifically is going to be really slow. Alright, now we're okay. He hasn't done the thing yet. He's been playing really tame. It's just been sifting through the chaos. This is actually really... He again, playing really nice. That'll happen. He has a jump scare. We swapped, so he didn't hit us. We're gonna get Gift Boxes up after this. And I'd say at this point, we're looking at about halfway through the fight.
Oh god. This is really long. This is a really long one, man.
It's not fun, but... And it's even more fun that it capstones the run. The reason you do this at the end is because you get levels, and here we go. Okay, so he did Toxic Bite. And the problem with that is he's done 4th wall in the past, which you've noticed, but it's another code reason. So what it does when it picks what special attack to use, it cycles through however many he has. He has a bunch, like 7, I think, different kinds. So when it decides to pick 4th wall with Toxic Bite up like this, it'll just one-shot the entire party. Just because it picked the 4th wall and does 4th wall damage.
Yeah, because the game wasn't balanced enough.
No. I think it counts. But like, that can always be really threatening. You didn't see it once through that Toxic Bite. It's already a low chance, but in the practice run before this, it happened twice in a row, so... that can also happen. We're gonna get End Army up here. I'm gonna let Escape Key hit the back. That was a really nice Escape Key. And he targeted bottom, so... playing very nice. I think he's at about 2/3 at this point. I mean, 2/3 dead. So about 30% health left. There's 4th wall. There he goes. Oh, wow. See? No health bar, I can't even tell. He's gone now.
Nice. GG.
So, that's that. Time's not up. We have this dialogue. We do go to the end of this dialogue.
That's all. I love how it was one experience and one token.
It's the best. Animdude's the same way, the white guy. But I'll let you know. It's going to be after the last dialogue box.
Alright.
I'll count it down, actually. So it's gonna be here in 3, 2, 1, time.
Time. 43:57. Just barely didn't.
Wow,
win.
really?
Yeah, 43:57.
43:57?
Yeah, 43. Yeah, I should do really well.
I thought that was like a 46. Some of the early bosses weren't great, but that chipper must have been really good.
Yeah, GG's. Incredible run. Right. Kind of epilepsy-inducing, but very flashy. I liked it. I was really impressed by. Okay, I've played this game before. I'm really impressed by how you kept your party alive during the entire thing.
It takes a lot of practice, and I didn't even get into a lot of the. I didn't get as deep into it as I wanted to, but there's a lot of nuance with the battle system. It's very fun.
Yeah.
There you go. There's FNaF World Fixed Party 100.
FNaF World by ZombieGabriel. Yours truly. Is there anything else you want to say / do before we wrap up?
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Actually, I have a few shoutouts I do want to make, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to mention and throw shade towards Dark. I'd like to throw some towards Bro Without an F, mentioned him earlier. HMZ Gaming, an upcoming top level runner of the game. He's been pushing, and he's definitely gonna get to the top someday. I can't wait for it. Quince. There's plenty of other runners that also do the thing. Charmander, I know you're in the chat. There's all you guys. I can't remember names right now, but there's too many to shout out. You know who you are if I missed you. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
No
Exclamation mark shout out to you for hosting the whole thing, being up.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. You kind of joined last second, but I'm very glad I had you. Yeah.
It's been a long event, but we're almost done now.
Yeah, final stretch. I finally get to sleep.
Yeah, dude, that'd be great.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you.
That'd be great. Yeah. Thank you.